Hello everyone, welcome back to Amazing Reading. I am coming into this reading. Hello everyone, welcome back to Amazing Reading. You can see the thumbnail, you see the title. You know today we are going to be doing a solemn reading today. I held off on this reading because I really had the high hopes and I had the expectations that the Guthries mother was going to be found by now, but it's been like about a week and a half. And, this is getting bleaker by the second. And, they have put out a plea. I think last thing I seen that they released a video of the kidnappers of Miss Nancy Guthrie, but there still has not been, at least to the public, there hasn't been anything released in a way of just kind of like, well, what's the motive behind this? And what do they think was the reason behind, them removing Nancy? Is it in connection to her daughter being very popular, famous news anchor? Is this some kind of retribution? Nobody has like kind of come forward about that. So I wanted to do a reading on this, just to kind of see what was the motive and possibly get a peek into who did this. And hopefully, I have a small channel. It's not like it's the biggest thing in the world, but, hopefully it's something that I can pick up on that maybe can, from my mouth to thine ears, they can hear and it'll help with the investigation and people can, locate Miss Guthrie. But, that's the only reason why I'm really doing this. And I hope it's not something malicious behind this, but it's starting to look like that more and more to me personally. Okay. All statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. But I want to get into that and see what's going on behind this. The second point of this reading that I want to do tonight is on a interview that Melinda Gates, Melinda, is it Melinda or Melissa? Yeah, Melinda Gates did on the warning that she gave her ex-husband Bill Gates upon him meeting Jeffrey and continuing this relationship with him, despite her instincts saying that no, this isn't going to be a good friendship and you probably should stay away from him, Bill. Essentially is what she was saying in the interview. I think this was something that she did on the Today News with Gail King, and I don't know if it was a new one or an old one. I didn't really look up the date, but I remember seeing those clips come out as 50% of the Jeffrey files have been released. And so I wanted to do a reading on that and see kind of a deeper look into kind of like what Melinda knows or possibly have an inkling of, and kind of like what it was that she exactly was warning her ex-husband about and why. So I just kind of want to get into peek into that, just because I'm hoping maybe it'll give a another side of things. This is especially coming hot on the heels of my Hillary and Bill Clinton reading, because they are wanting to do a deposition, I believe it is, to report what it is that they know, and they want it to be public. And you can see that reading. I will leave a link here for you all to watch that video. I highly advise you to go see it, because I think there is some juicy tidbits that is going to come out of that hearing, whether it's private or not. I know at the time when I did the reading, it was announced that it was going to be private. So just in case we don't get it to the public, hopefully there's something in that reading that you all can get that'll satisfy that itch that you kind of want to know what's going on. So now that I have given you kind of the premise of this reading, I do mean this with, no ill intentions. I'm really hoping to just, again, garner more insight into this. These are two topics of great interest to me. Hopefully they are of great interest to you. Basically they are, because you're here watching. And subscribe if you want to see more things like this. Again, hopefully maybe somebody is listening to this and I'll pick up on something that's dealing with Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping and lend a helping hand. I'm not doing it just to be like Oh, because it's something that's going on. I really hope to help, and really, honestly, it's out of my own curiosity as well. Just to be fair, not gonna hide that here. So, with all of that being said, if you are okay with me proceeding with this reading, or if you are okay with proceeding forward with this reading with me, stick around, enjoy it. If not, this will be your moment in time to click off, because I am going to proceed forward at this time. All right. I should also say before I start pulling cards that I am prone to being wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong. I'm human, but I'm going to try my best to deliver the message that I pick up in this reading. Again, I don't mean this with any maliciousness. This is all just like curiosity and to satisfy my own genuine interest that I have in this case, to see what may be going on here, to see if there's something bigger that's going on in the background that they aren't trying to let the public be aware of, especially with a lot of the like political and cultural things that are going on here in America. So yeah. So again, I just want to explain that because some people will try to mistake my intentions for this reading, and I want to, clearly state them out here and be truthful about it. Okay. Uh, Magician, alchemy. Okay, here's the other two cards. So let's see here. We have the Magician in reverse. We have Sadness, which is the Three of Wood. And then we have the Teeth dealing with resilience. This is the Strength card. The reason behind this. So instantly when I see the Magician coming up here, this makes me think of manipulation. Yeah, it just makes me think of like manipulation. And then we have the Sadness here, the Three of Woods. And then Strength. Interesting enough. So I don't know. I know again there was a video or something released. I do wonder if it was a couple of people involved in this, and what would be their gripe? Because why is Sadness coming up? Okay. Ooh. So I know they said they got a ransom letter because I see the Five of Coins here coming up. And then we have the World card coming up in reverse. Completion. Something that is incomplete. Harvest. What is this person sad about that they feel like they had to get back at the Guthries for? This almost feel again. This feels like a tit for tat, or like a get back, or um almost like I'm letting you know I can touch you, like you played something off or you played in my face almost, and now that anger has kind of or that sadness maybe has turned into anger. Or maybe the grief has turned into anger, and now this is the reaction that you're getting from me now at this moment in time. You, I don't know, someone feels like you robbed something of sentimental value to me, or a sentiment to me, or a value to me. So I'm going to make sure that you feel what I felt. I want to make sure that you feel the way I felt. What's throwing me basically is this world card coming up in reverse, because I don't know if this is something where it's saying like they didn't think it was probably going to get this public this fast, or they don't like that, or they don't like something about Savannah Guthrie's public persona or something like that. They want to like get at her, they want to make sure it's seen, and they felt like this was a good way to do it or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm putting it out there because I'm not sure which way this is leaning here. And then we have the spleen here. This is dealing with healing, temperance coming up in reverse for the underlying energies. I'm also getting the Nine of Water, manifestation. Somebody's wish did come true, and this is out of some petty vendetta. This is out of some petty motive coming up here, or people will perceive it as petty. It almost feels like it's a thing of like, you know, say like you playing what is that game where you like smacking each other hands, but you smack somebody because you're heavy handed. You was like, oh, I'm sorry, but they like, okay, cool. Next thing you know, they coming out with a fork and they're stabbing you in the hand. Like, this escalated very quickly, and it wasn't that serious. I thought we were all playing a game, and you took this from 0 to 60 in 3.5. Like, it didn't have to go like that. It feels more so like that. I don't want to say it's petty because again, I don't want to downplay people's emotions on either side with this, because I don't know what the situation is. I haven't picked up on that just quite yet, but I do think people will feel like, okay, you kind of went overboard here in your response for for what you're upset about. Let's see if I can get some more clarity. Okay, what is this? A renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. Yeah, let's see if this is going to actually fit. Okay, I have a couple things here. Distorted perceptions. We do have repair here. Somebody feel like you couldn't make amends for something. Yep, enough was enough. Somebody feel like you couldn't make amends for something. Distorted perceptions. Why would that come up? Reality is barely what we are raised to believe it is. I'm still getting, look, so didn't I get, the Nine of Waters, manifestations. We getting wishful expectations here. That's like wishes being granted, if you know the original tarot. The underlying thing here, we have transitions, okay? And then we also have key to intimacy as the underlying energies, not issues, energies here. So I feel like this is somebody pretty close. I'm feeling like this is somebody pretty close, because it almost feels like a family, uh, like a family feud kind of thing. I don't know what's going on with their family. I haven't looked into that all that deep, if at all. I just seen this headline, and again, I'm just curious on what this was, because I thought it was maybe somebody doing this out of spite to Savannah, because of like her being a media personality, or a media talking head, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know about her doing a lot of political coverage, but I'm ignorant on that, and I wholeheartedly would just come out and say that. So for me to see this be somebody that seems like it's pretty close, somebody I won't say well known, because I feel like that's probably why they're overlooking this person and maybe an inkling or something, but it feels more so like it's a, I wouldn't have expected this out of you kind of thing. I like overlooked you, and that probably could be part of the thing that's like, what's that, like adding to the gripe that this person has as well. Okay, I'm gonna try to pull one more time and see if I get anything else, because it's not the clearest, but I'm trying here. Connection. See, death, transformation. I don't like seeing that come out. Then I also have the lungs. And again, the lungs for me is grief. And it's also talking about solitude coming up in reverse here. Because that's the hermit energy. The lungs is the hermit. But I also think of grief. What is this gripe that this person have? Yeah, they decided to take action. Yeah, bit of luck. And then we also have the Hierophant community coming up in reverse. Is this somebody in the family that feel iced out? Because I was saying something along those lines earlier of just kind of like maybe this person feels overlooked in the family, or like downplayed or something, and maybe that's it was like adding insult to injury. I'm starting to think it's somebody really close to them. I don't know if they're looking close to them or if they are looking more so at neighbors, um, people who wish Savannah or Nancy harm or anything like that, or any of the other siblings, because I don't know what the other siblings do. For all we know, one of them could be like some military contractor or something, but yeah. Yeah, I'm convinced it's somebody they know. In their integration, they don't feel um, considered by the family for some reason. That's like the probably the clearest thing that's coming through to me. Assistance with access. Why it is necessary to ask and accept help in order to receive it. I'm not sure why this is coming out, but I'm gonna put it there. Have the Guthries gone through some kind of loss, a death or something like that of somebody in the family? I don't know why this would be stemming from that. It's not over like somebody ashes or something, right? Like I don't know what this is coming through, but it feels like it's something like a okay. To me, it's all over the place, and it's probably because this energy is like still so fresh. But to me, what I'm kind of picturing is like a family, um, maybe like grieving over something. Everyone else is kind of like moved on over time, not just out of maliciousness or anything, or being like, well, that's done, on to the next thing. It's not something like that, but it feels like this person perceives people to kind of like maybe be taking it that way. um Although this I don't know if it's a person or an object or something like that, something of sentimental value that was lost. They kind of just like everyone else, it seems like in the family seems to have moved on, or maybe tried to help replace it as something and thought they, did the best and thought this person was over it. And little do they know, this person was not over it. And they've just kind of like been biding their time. Um, and to the rest of the world, it may look like, okay, you escalated this to level 20 when it should have been like a level 15 or a 10. Um, but to them, it was a thing of like, hey, well, when I lost that person or this thing or whatever the case may be, it was a 20 to me, but nobody cared. So maybe I have overreacted, but now I'm in for a pound and down for a dozen. Like I gotta go through with it now. Like, I want you to understand the loss and the hurt that I felt or that I feel, and nobody was around to care or be there for me. You waved me off or downplayed my grief, like it wasn't nothing, or you didn't pay attention to it. And that's more so what it feels like to me. This kind of feels like a family riff or a feud about, I don't know, family heirloom. Maybe, is that what it is? mm, I don't know. I don't know if this is helping, but that is something that I'm picking up here. Because look, oh shit, okay, I'm really gonna lean into the angle that this is about. This is probably over something like a family heirloom, someone passing away, because I have the presence of absence coming up here. And this to me always feels like, we're mourning a person that we've lost. Like, it's like that memorabilia and things like that that's going on. I also have metamorphosis for the underlying energy here, and to me that feels like you have not transformed and worked through that grief. You have not, used that for something light and better, because it's coming up in reverse here. And this is followed by confusion. This reads: growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. Maybe this person is exercising that despair, that hurt that they feel, and maybe they're exercising it, maybe not in the best way, but in the way that they best knew how to work through it. Not saying that it's the best way, but the best way they knew how to work through it. And so that's what it's feeling like to me. Now, what is going to be the outcome of this? Let's see. Home. The sun is coming up in reverse. And this is the other card I get here. I also get mystery. The high priestess wanted to flip out. And it is coming up in reverse. And so to me, the with the high priestess coming up in reverse, you also have the devil and the sun card coming up in reverse. I don't know if this is going to be, I'll say this. I think they are going to find her mom. I don't know if it'll be under the best conditions. That's how I'll say that. Yeah. I'm gonna see. No, this isn't looking too good underneath here either. All of these cards are coming up in reverse. This is the Wheel of Fortune. That's not looking good. We also have the Charmed card here coming up in reverse. This is the Ten of Metals. And then we also have the Ace of Fire coming up here in reverse. Yeah, I don't think it's going to end in the best. But I do think they're going to find her mom at least. I am going to leave that there. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong on that. Hopefully her mom, it'll be something where her mom can go to the hospital and get treatment, and she'll be, maybe she'll be in hospice, or she'll be in the hospital for quite some time. And Lord knows the amount of therapy that may be needed, but yeah. Okay, let's clear this energy out. All right. We are going to focus in on Melinda Gates here. That is the part we're going to read on now. We are going to focus in on Melinda Gates and her marriage, her ex-marriage with Bill Gates and his friend Jeffrey. We are going to focus in on that. We're going to switch gears here. Okay. What did she see? What did she experience with Jeffrey that she was trying to warn Bill about, or she did warn Bill about? Fire, fire, fire. Um, so we do have the Prince of Wands here. We have the Five of Wands here dealing with strife. This is coming up in reverse. And then we also have the Death card here. I'm definitely getting something about the competition, the competitiveness or something here with the Five of Wands. I know it says strife, but I feel like it's something like competition. Um, but it's like a weird kind of competition. It's like a admiration slash competition thing going on here. Like it almost feels like, okay, this is what I feel like it is, and I'm gonna pull more cards to see if I'm right or wrong. It kind of feels like Melinda could see that Bill would fall under Jeffrey's spell. Um, and not pay attention to a lot of the red flags that were going on, hence why she brought it forward to him. Um, I don't know, maybe it's because of something about Jeffrey maybe really charms, white males. I don't know. It really is a siren's call for them. They I feel like it's easy to be like they didn't like him, or it was something prickly about him that they didn't like, but they very much admired at the same time that they aspired to. And I feel like she very much could see Bill falling, um I don't want to say victim. It's kind of like impressed, being like almost like you see, how you see some people who are easily impressionable, whether it's because of their age or just like their naivete, whatever it is, you can see them being impressionable by somebody who has kind of like bad habits and stuff like that. But because they think the person is cool, they ignore everything that's going on, and yet they're falling in with the bad habits that the person do. It kind of feels like Melinda's seen that with seeing the future there when it came to Bill and Jeffrey's relationship. When I see this strife here, this Prince of Wands with this Death card, it's like I can see the change. I can see kind of like where this is gonna go, where this is gonna lead to, and I don't think he's like the best influence. I don't know if she actually, looking at these cards, I don't know if she actually was aware or picked up on that there was something nefarious about Jeffrey, but it very much feels like this gives me the feeling of like when I used to tell my cousin about her friends that weren't friends, but she would call them friends all the time. It's like, okay, I just gotta watch you kind of go out here and bump your head. But I'm gonna try my best to kind of protect you because I see that they're no good. You don't see that they're no good. And you're just kind of like following along with them. And it's like, no, you need to let them go. But in the meantime, since you're gonna go through, since you're not listening to me, you don't believe me when I tell you that the stove is hot, that the fire is hot, you gotta touch it for yourself. I'm gonna be on standby with the ointment. So when you come running back, I'll be there to help you heal, to recover, and move forward from this. But I am going to tell you I told you so. I'm very much going to tell you I told you so. And that's kind of like what I feel is coming up here. I do also think that something in this also feels like Melinda seeing Jeffrey as like a threat to her marriage to Bill at the time. Because again, I'm reading this is going on what was going on at the time. It's not like present energy, but it kind of feels like Melinda very much saw Jeffrey as like a threat to her marriage, whether that's like he was going to get Bill into some trouble. Listen, Linda. Okay, whether it was gonna get Bill in trouble, he was gonna put him in certain rooms on stuff, he was gonna help him lie, sneak, steal, whatever the case may be. Something about Jeffrey set off the alarms to Melinda, where she was like, more so like, oh, this man is a threat to my marriage, and I don't like that. That feels uncomfortable. I would say that's more so what's coming up here. And it feels like she just knew Bill wasn't going to win. I don't know what this competitive energy is. It just feels like Melinda was like, I know you're not going to win. You're going to fall victim to it. Look, Ace of Cups here. Because it's something about him that you like. It's something about him that you like. And it's not good. Ooh, yikes. Only if Bill listened. Everything that shine ain't gold, as my mama say. Okay, does she see anything? Okay, hold on. That one drop on the floor. What do you know? The Five of Swords, defeat. She seen something that she was like, yeah, this is not going to end well. I don't know if it was just premonition or woman's intuition that was working with her, but something was like, yeah, this isn't going to end well. What did she see though? She didn't try to get into depth about it, but see, look at all these fives. Five of this, five of wands, five of swords. There was definitely some worry here. Seven of wands, valid. To me, it just feels like she was really picking up on Jeffrey's like slime ball arrogant behavior. Like that's what's like really coming through to me right now. I it's a certain person that's coming to mind for me, and it's giving me that physical reaction of like just ugh. You ever had somebody you seen walk in a room and you just really didn't like them, you didn't like their presence, their energy, if they breathe wrong, you just like, oh my god, what do you want, what are you about to say now, why are you even here? Like that's the energy that's coming through for me. I feel like she was just picking up on his slime ball arrogant behavior. She didn't like some of the slimy things that he said and or did, and it was just like, no, I need you to not be friends with this a-hole, because he is disgusting. He is moss, he is mold. Like, stay away from him. But Bill didn't. And she was right. He was very much a threat to her marriage, because I wouldn't be surprised if that was a reason why they no longer are together. Notice we have the Chariot in reverse here, something at halt. We also have the Temperance card coming up here in reverse as well. And then we also have the Ace of Cups. But this time it is coming up in the upright. I also want to note that I have the Hangman underneath here as well in reverse. Okay. What clarity am I going to get on this here? Um, Okay, maybe somebody knows Bill Gates' background better than I do, but to me, this just kind of feels like, again, and I'm getting this all one sided, I'm picking this all up from Melinda's side of things. This is me channeling, this is all intuitive, all statements made are for alleged all statements made are for entertainment purposes. Why am I struggling with that? All statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. Jesus. Um, I am just I'm getting things down low, so I want it to be clear. Um, and this is me trying to interpret what these feelings and stuff are that's coming through. If I was to gander a guess at this, if I was to throw a dart and guess, in the dark here, it feels like, I don't know if Bill Gates have daddy issues, but it almost feels like Bill Gates has father issues. Um, and I don't know if it stems from him trying to uplift or aspire to a certain thing that um, his father wanted him to be, or he thought his father wanted him to be, or a form of himself that he felt that would make his father proud, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It feels like some fatherly wound here, and if it's not a fatherly wound, it's almost like on some weird. I don't know what this is. It's almost like Bill almost look to Jeffrey in reverence, or like a father, or in reverence of like a father figure, or with some boys or young girls hold in reverence like their fathers. And Melinda very much could see, again, him falling under Jeffrey's spell and going acquiescing, falling victim to him, willing to give money, fire, and blood, whatever it is, in order to kind of just like be in his orbit, to be closer to him, be all consumed, all encompassed by him in some sense. And it wasn't going to end well. Not only are you a threat to my marriage, you're a threat to my husband, you're a threat to our business, our brand, you're a threat to our family. It's like all of those things into one. And again, I don't know if Melinda's intuition was on, in high gear, or if there were certain inklings or whispers that were going around that put her on game. But yeah, she very much seen her husband just going the way of the dodo, following this man. He was moth to a flame with Jeffrey, essentially. Um, let's see if I can get anything else here. That was way too many. I'm going to try this again. Oh, am I not supposed to know? I guess I'm not supposed to know this. Oh, as I say that, then two cards jump out at the end. We have Alethea in the riddle. The riddle makes me feel like, yeah, it's something that you are not to be exposed to or to know. I have to pull out the book again for Alethea because I don't remember Alethea, to be honest. I know it's here in the back. What is it? Where is Alethea so I can read that for you all, and I'm gonna close it out from there. Where is the list of the card numbers? Did I miss it? With my stupid out? Yes, I did. I flipped them all together. Alethea, I knew it was at the back. 221. 221. It's like one of the very last ones. Yeah, clarity, revelation, disclosure. Oh, is that what it was? Did she run? Okay, again, I'm going back to his slime ball tendencies because one of the things that jump out to me from this is that Alethea is talking about truth, and I think she's seeing the true side of Jeffrey because there were maybe some moments or experience where she felt like she was kind of being gaslit by him, um, or or Bill. Like she felt that there were some stupid excuses or gaslighting going on to cover up some of the shit that they were doing, and she very much was aware like somebody is lying. Somebody is lying. You need to speak the truth here. Okay, riddle. Let me see if there's something that's going to pop up here about riddle before I close this out to see if there's going to be something different. 171 for riddle. For Tom Riddle. Yeah, a great awakening or aha moment, manipulation, deceit, and trickery. Yep, this is just reconfirming what I was saying. It feels like there was an incident here where she seen his true scumbag ways and she tried to warn her husband, but to no avail. I don't know, at least picking up from this cards, I feel comfortable saying I don't know if she actually seen or witnessed anything. Maybe there were some things where she probably like seen something out the corner of her eye, or again she heard rumblings or whispers of stuff, but I don't know if she's actually experienced anything herself, but it was just enough that she gathered or pieced together, or she kind of like was, hints or whatever messages was given to her when she was like, yeah, no, this dude is not cool. But I kind of feel like what's coming to me now, I feel like she never imagined it was this bad. I think she probably felt like, okay, maybe he's like stealing money, racketeering, those kind of things, especially since I think he pretty much introduces himself as a financier. That was his title, and that's what that was his claim to fame. So maybe that's more so why she's kind of like, I see this man being a problem for my marriage and our brand and our business, because maybe she felt like maybe he was a con artist or something like that. But little did she know, she's like, only if I knew what only if I know now. Yeah, if I knew now what I should have known then. This No, absolutely not. I wouldn't even have moved next door. I wouldn't be in his orbit at all. Because it just, to me, it just feels like, what I'm gathering here, the feeling is just like, again, from the stuff I've seen and witnessed and experienced with this person, I thought that he was just probably shuffling money here and there. Again, he was a con artist. He was a nasty a-hole. He, was high on power or drunk on his own power or his own want to be self-worth or overinflated worth, and that was bad enough. But to know now what the depth of his depravity is, she's like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get to see all of that and that I was able to move away. Um, yeah, that's what I'm picking up on here. From these cards, it don't seem like she's seen anything too atrocious, but I think it was enough for her to be like, yeah. Um, and again, not to downplay this, there may have been something here where she probably see him with somebody where she was like, that girl looks a little young, but it was kind of like, hey, well, a lot of these guys are out here hanging out with girls that's a little too young. Maybe some of these girls are okay with it, or they think it's cute. I'm gonna tell them it's not. I can try to, warn them, but she probably didn't want to step on too many toes because she didn't want to be around it in the first place. That's kind of like what I'm gathering here. Um, so yeah, I thought I was gonna probably get more, but no, it seems like Melinda kind of stayed out the way here, and rightfully so, because if what she's picking up from him, I can only imagine. It's like that old crazy man that be at your office parties that's talking about his dad being I don't know, being a part of the Confederacy and some of the crazy weird stuff that they used to do or something. It's like this is a very uncomfortable, not work appropriate conversation going on here. Like, back up, give me 10 feet. And on top of that, I'm a person of color. I'm probably somebody that your father would have had mounted on a wall somewhere, It's like one of those kind of things. The way my candle is flickering, yeah, I think that's kind of the best comparison that I can give you right now. But let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. Again, I hope these readings helped, because again, this was just some of the things that I was curious about, so I wanted to pull cards on this. If you have suggestions for future readings, leave them down in the comment section as well, and I will get around to them as best I can as time allows. With all of that being said, hopefully we gonna clear this energy out, honey. Gotta spray, okay? um Clear this energy out, and you have a great day, great night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, bye.